Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Azuba's Analysis. I'm your host Azuba, and as you can see I've actually moved into a new place, staying with my brother for a couple of days, a couple of weeks rather, while I'm working over the mid-semester break. So that's provided some interesting logistics, and working is great times. So that's why there's been a bit of a delay in this last video. Anyway, we're just going to jump into a Soloqueue game here, and just going to take a look at it. There's a lot of high-profile players in this game, so it should be a quality game to watch. We see actually straight away there's a blue invade going on, but the blue does get picked up by Olaf in the end, getting a good smite off and managing to ghost and get away immediately. Really nice play there. And it looks like everybody's just going to back away in the end. Rise tossing out a little bit of harass as they go. So we're just going to take a look at the players that are in this game. Actually, we have Orb, Nian, and Babe on red team in the bottom lane. Both very, very high-rated players, of course. Nian, one of the best AD carries around in the NA scene at the moment, I think. And for blue team, we have Nyatwin and Aframu Smurf playing, who are the AD carry and support for TSM Evo. Should be particularly interesting to see how this bottom lane does work out in the end. Varus Soraka, of course, not a particularly common combination compared to Ashe Janna, which is very, very standard. So possibly they'll have a slight edge there just because they'll know the matchup much better. But at the same time, they might not know how to deal with Varus so well. We see Olaf sneaking around. He has actually gone and taken away the red buff from Maokai and is going to dive in onto Aframu here. But Aframu and Nat actually both flashing out immediately and getting away nicely. In the mid lane, we see Twist of Fate versus Rise. Expect to see Rise slowly kind of winning out in that lane, and then Twist of Fate able to have global presence and actually influence the other lanes, giving them a bit of an advantage through the ganks that he can provide. In the top lane, we see Kennen versus Vlad, both very potent top laners, both going to provide really nice AoE ultimates to their team. I would have given the edge to Kennen in the early levels, and then probably the edge to Vlad later on, because he scales quite well from probably about level 9 he hits his peak and is a really, really strong champion. So watch out for the point where Vlad ends up being more strong. We actually see at this point, Vlad is pushing really well and keeping these minions on the turret the whole time. Although Silsol on Kennen is doing a good job of CSing on the turret. Silsol, of course, is famous for his heal ignite summoner choice, and he is actually running those two here, which is awesome. Just that ridiculously aggressive combination, really effective for getting kills in lanes. Not quite so good if you want to escape from a jungler, of course. So we see a lot of aggression down in this bot lane. Varus and Soraka both taken down very low, and I think both AD carries are completely, they've used up all of their potions already. Varus a little bit ahead on CS right now, but not too much. Of course, with no sustain, at this point, Varus trading with Ashe is going to be very beneficial because he does have Soraka to heal him up. You see Twist of Fate pushing out that mid, and that's the main advantage of having a Twist of Fate. I mean, main advantage for Twist of Fate in this lane is going to be that he can outpush Rise by quite a lot. Actually missing a kill on the bottom lane. We're going to really want to take a look at that. Just kind of pushing in onto Ashe, getting a lot of damage off onto Janna as she gets on towards the turret. Wow, really nice just auto E and ignite combo onto Janna, and though she did flash, she went down anyway. Soraka getting taken very low, actually does die. It's a really nice Q from Varus, able to pick up a double killer overall, so awesome work from Aframu. Naka going to come in onto Vlad, managing to get the twisted bounce off through the pool, but Olaf's going to come in from behind, getting a huge amount of damage on the Maokai. He gets ignited and dies, and it looks like Kennen's in a lot of trouble as well here. He has put the hurt onto Vlad, but he's not going to be able to take him out, and Vlad may be able to finish off Kennen. Just one more hit, but he has backed away. Twist of Fate in the meantime going to flash in, try and pick off Vlad, but not quite. Actually, the ignite does take him out, and Vlad able to turn around and kill Twist of Fate as well there. So red team picking up 2 kills to blue team's 1 is going to be really nice little pick up for them there. Keeping the gold very even overall. Vlad, though, going to be quite strong in that top lane to just pick up 2 kills. Has completed his Hextate Revolver now at the 6-minute mark, which is phenomenal. And that's going to help him out a lot in this lane. Hasn't picked up any wards, interestingly. He opted for 3. Oh, actually, he already has a ward down in the river, so maybe he felt that another one wasn't necessary. We see the purple coat Soraka bug persisting. Bit of an odd bug, that one. But yeah, having the Hextech Revolver at this point when Kennen has just 2 amp tomes means that Vlad's going to have a huge advantage whenever they're actually trying to trade. And if he's able to hit 6 here before Kennen can, which it looks like he will be able to, yeah, he has just hit 6 now, he may be able to force a really unfavorable situation for Kennen. In the meantime though, Blue team picking up a large advantage in the bot lane, so it'll just be down to which team can capitalize better off the gold lead that they picked up in their respective lanes. Twisted Fate actually using his ultimate to get down to bottom right now, but the cleanse coming out from Ashe, it's just going to get him away, no problem. Having that cleanse, very, very sensible there with, of course, Twisted Fate stuns as well as Varus ultimates, both being, I mean, if you can cleanse either of those, you're going to be able to get away and stay alive that much longer. And with a very vulnerable and low mobility carry like Ashe, it's a very useful thing to have. We see Vlad still just pushing away at top. Hasn't managed to get a lot of damage onto Kennen actually, simply because of Kennen's crazy range. I'll take a look at the item decisions real quick, just why there's a little bit of a quiet time. So we see Twisted Fate's picked up 2 Doran's, but 2 Doran's rings, very standard. Most likely he's just going to be rushing for that Death Cat very quickly. We'll pick up Soloqueue as well, I'm sure. Rise, in the meantime, has rushed his tier very quickly because he's not expecting to be taking a lot of damage in this lane. He feels he doesn't need an early catalyst. So he's actually just gone for that tier straight away, and we'll probably build into a catalyst and a Glacial Shroud after that. And probably Rod of Ages, actually, at this point, rather than a Banshee's Veil, I think is much more popular. In the top lane, we see, well, we've talked a little bit about their items already. I would imagine that neither of them will rush straight for that water, just because that's not really common anymore. Yeah, I mean, the change making you need a blasting wand and spending a bit more gold to pick up the water has meant that rushing for it really not so efficient. Olaf actually able to steal away another red here. It looks like Malka is going to try and chase after him, but we'll give up in the end. Rise, getting caught a little bit by the Varus ultimate. A lot of damage coming out, but at the same time, oh my god, the arrow actually able to pick up that kill onto Varus. Rise going down in the meantime though. And Olaf's going to chase on and try and pick up that kill onto Soloqueue. Does manage to. Yeah, he's just going to ghost and get away scot-free here, it seems. Nice play there by Red Team. Again, picking up a favorable exchange overall. Malka just going to go back and clear out his red. He's going to be a bit disappointed to have missed both of his reds in this game so far. You know, at the 9-minute mark, having had no red buffs is making it much harder for him to successfully gank, which is unfortunate. Okay, take a look at the jungler's items. Malka's picked up his Fellowstone, and it looks like Olaf has picked up a Heart of Gold and is actually backing just now to pick up this Fellowstone as well. So both junglers opting for the GP10 route is going to allow them to keep up and farm a little bit with those lanes. Wow, Twisted Fate using his ultimate to escape here, which is actually quite a smart play. He managed to get away with the rates as well by the looks of it. So, although he obviously wouldn't have wanted to use his ult that way, it was very, very smart of him to not get caught there because he was in a bit of a bad position between Rise and Vlad. So still quite a bit of poking going away in bottom lane between Varus and Ashe. And Kennen actually putting a lot of hurt onto Vlad right now. A little bit surprising to see. He is about 30 farm behind as well as 2 kills, so don't expect this Kennen. I wouldn't have expected this Kennen to be doing so well, but he is actually still holding his own. See Malka trying to sneak in for a lane gank, but can he? Just try and we'll watch Red Team position here, see if he can get in with this brush. I haven't seen anything yet. But it looks like Rise and Olaf coming out for the counter gank, and Malka's actually left, so Kennen could be in a lot of trouble right now. He can get Rune Prison through his lightning rush. Could be in for a hurt here. He does manage to get an ult though, and Vlad's just going to flash in and pick up the kill. Twisted Advance goes up onto Vlad, so he's not going to eat too many turret shots thanks to that pull though. He's managed to get the Hemoblade off, and I think Malka is going to go down here too actually. A lot of damage up from Rise. Vlad picking up the kill in the end, and they're going to take up this turret as well. That's going to be a really, really nice exchange overall for actually at the same time, wow, Ashe picking up a double kill with that volley. Gets so low from that last attack from F remover. Doesn't go down in the end. That's crazy. Twisted Fate trying to chase on, but actually gets caught a little bit. Taking an awful lot of damage, not able to chase on too much. He might be able to take out Rise here, actually. And he does. Wow. Nice play by Toys Lols. Good name. But blue team at this point with a 4,000 gold deficit is actually in a bit of a bad spot. At the 12-minute mark, that's much larger than I mean, you don't want to be behind at all, of course, but if you are behind, you don't want to be 4,000 gold behind. Kennen actually managing to take out Vlad there, which is good. He gets the shutdown. It's just going to get a bit of goals and even his scores up a little bit. Might see red team posturing for Dragon here, although actually, nope, it looks like they're just going to go back down towards the lane. That's fine. So we just see Rise building towards that Catalyst. He's actually opted for Merc Dreads here, which I like a lot as a purchase. Of course, the stuns from Cannon, the stuns from Twisted Fate, the ult from Varus, and the root from Twisted Advance on Maokai are all going to be reduced by tenacity. It's going to be a lot less CC on him. And of course, you know, Soloqueue is not completely mandatory when Merc Dreads are able to be that useful. It's a good rune prison here, and Olaf coming in from behind. Gonna have to be able to ult this gold card, otherwise, yep, he does. He doesn't quite land the axe. Can he catch Twisted Fate here? Yeah, okay, he lands the axe. Twisted Fate's in a lot of trouble. He does get a stun, and Cannon's able to come in. He gets a counter stun. It's a good ult. Ooh, doesn't quite manage to keep Twisted Fate alive. It does take Olaf out in the end, and picks up a double buff. So, you know, worthwhile trade for blue team overall, but shame for them to end up using that many stuns, that many summoners, and several ultimates to try and get Twisted Fate away, but just gets taken out by Olaf in the end, and that's basically what Olaf does. He gets you, no matter what you got. Okay, seemingly trying to take a dragon here. Is getting assisted by Varus and Soraka. I'm not actually sure Red Team will be able to contest, as Ashe is still back in their base. Vlad's just kind of pushing in on the turret. On top lane. Very secluded. Wow, the damage coming out from Vlad there is going to be able to destroy Cannon. He might just go down to the Hemoblade, but actually gets another transfusion off, picks up that double buff, and doesn't die. I mean, huge damage coming out from, actually, turn off chat here, coming out from that Vlad. It's as scary as anything. He has picked up 2 blasting ones. I'm not, I suppose that'll be going towards, most likely, Deathcap and Will of the Ancients, and yeah, he picks up the Water here. Could be Abyssal or something like that, or even, actually Rylai's probably, given that he was born in Abto. So that's going to be really nice for him. I mean, he's dealing a huge amount of damage, and of course getting the spell vamp and the utility from Rylai's and Will of the Ancients is going to become really powerful. Olaf chasing on after Twisted Fate here, he gets a really good ultimate off and is able to pick up the kill. Well played. Olaf's doing a lot of work right now. He's 3-1-4. Has got double GBT in as well. He's going to have a lot of golds coming into the late game. It's actually, yeah, not quite the highest gold in the game right now. It's about 300 sure, but still sitting on an awful lot of goals. Ashe chasing after Varus right now, taking a fair bit of damage in the process. Because Varus, with that attack speed steroid, when he actually does pick up a kill on a minion, is able to trade really well, making it quite dangerous to actually trade with him in the few seconds that he's got that steroid up. Rise coming in behind them right now, though. Just managed to get a rune prison off straight away, and huge damage coming out instantly. Rise gets destroyed. Soraka gets arrowed, but I'm not sure if she's going to die here. He's gonna, yeah, gets rune prison again. Gets taken out immediately. Wow, actually the flash almost saving her as well as his heals, but not quite. In the meantime, Cannon taking an awful lot of damage again. The axe goes off and the transfusion, and he gets taken out as well. Blue team getting decimated right now. Just all over the map. Twisted Fate ulting down to bottom lane. A good Twisted Advance coming off from Maokai, but not able to do enough. Vlad and Olaf just going to push away at this top turret, picking up another 750 global golds for the team. Doing so much work with a 6,000 gold lead. And they're actually pushing out an inhibitor at the 15-minute mark. Inhibitor turret, I should say. The bot lane is supposed to come down and help, and actually huge damage coming out from Vlad onto Varus and Soraka. In a bit of bad position right now though. Nice flash from Varus and the ignite and make him able to pick up that kill. And gets the double buff for Varus, which is going to be really nice. Just looking at Varus' build for a moment, this has actually been interesting. He had picked up just a single Doran's Blade, followed it up with a Vamp Scepter and a Zeal, as well as Berserker Graves. It's a bit unusual to see that, and then opted to go into the BS Sword after that. Could be building Bloodthirster, or may just be going for the Infinity Edge. but in any case, picking up the Zeal and the Vamp Scepter beforehand is quite strange. But we'll have to see how that works out for him. Looks like he's going to go down to Olaf here though. Yeah, just, I mean, an Olaf that's that fed is so hard to deal with for any kind of carry. You really just have to have the raw HP to live through him. We might go down to Maokai and Soraka in the meantime. Yep, actually he does get taken out in the end. Soraka picking up the kill with a nice infuse, getting that double buff. Going to be a nice little pickup for her, although the red buff on Soraka perhaps not so useful. Despite, you know, how deadly bananas, of course, are. She's going to Rika right now and pick up her Infinity Edge by the looks of it, as well as maybe a Vamp Scepter or just a dagger towards a Zeal or something. Is going to be dealing a huge amount of damage right now, and that's something the blue team has to be a little bit scared of, because of course having completed that Infinity Edge when Varus has very little, relatively speaking, he's got one less Dorans and actually has a BF sword rather than an Infinity Edge. Oh my gosh, the arrow landing and immediately into the Rune Prison. Of course if it flashes, but he's going to go down anyway for sure. Ooh, actually. Close. No, he does die to the Ignite. Really nice arrow coming down mid lane there. Kind of, yeah, Twisted getting caught out. Ryze has picked up a blasting one, so it does look like he's going to be building straight into that Rite of Ages before he gets his Glacial Shroud. It's become actually semi-standard now. I do like the build, I have to say. People usually picking up like an Abyssal Scepter or similar to cover the magic resist that they need, rather than going for that Banshee's Vow, simply because Rite of Ages is such an efficient item since they buff the AP ratios and the mana ratios that Ryze has. It's just a really strong item right now. But actually running straight through the turret, taking a lot of damage from Kennen in the process, but Kennen getting a little bit caught by Olaf, does have to back away. One interesting thing about the items, Janet's actually only now buying her boots at the 18-minute mark. Oh my god, actually Kennen getting died in this middle lane. Let's back up and watch that again. He did get away from these guys at first, but it looks like they're just going to push the minion wave up, and he gets a little over aggressive, eats an axe. And Olaf's just going to continually axe and run in an ult. Kennen popped Slicing Maelstrom, but it wasn't enough because he couldn't actually get a stun up on Olaf. Twisted Fate ulted him, but couldn't get a card thanks to the pull from Vlad. He might be able to get away. He gets knocked back a little, but oh my god, Ryze coming in and forces Maokai to back away. He gets a Rune Prison, Maokai's going to die as well. That was really rough for blue team. They're just getting crushed right now. This is not even close. It's a little painful to watch. Wow. Actually, Akram doing a lot of work down the bottom. Managed to pick up Ashe, but Soraka with the double buff is able to do a lot of damage to Janna. But actually, oh my god, Ryze coming in from behind, picking up Varus, and will pick up Soraka as well for sure. That's rough. Red team now with 21 kills to blue team's 10, as well as an 8k gold lead. I don't know what blue team can do to come back from this. They really just need to hold out and try and farm as much as they can just to catch up, relatively catch up. But it's not even close at this point in time. Kennen getting a good amount of damage onto Vlad, but sticking around a bit low HP. He might be able to get taken out here. Nice dodge from him, but Kennen can land his W. Nope. Ooh, okay, it's close. Needs some auto attacks. Gets a stun. Okay, he does take him out. Just the auto attacks in the end. A little bit of an anticlimactic kill. Yeah, Vlad finishing his rallies right now. He's going to be really tanky and be able to chase people that much better. A nice pickup for him at this point, I think. When you're that ahead to build into items that make you a little bit tankier rather than items that give you raw damage output and items that enable you to catch people better, definitely a solid investment. Kennen pretty caught out right now. Does eat a volley, and Olaf going to come in. Uses his Shurelya's. Going to do a lot of work. Kennen lightning rushing away, gets hit by an axe and is going to die here, no problem. Caught out of position a bit there. He doesn't have vision, pretty much anyway. You can see there is a wood here, but that's about as much vision as he has. And of course there's no turrets, either there or there. So him pushing there was a little over ambitious. It looks like Varus is going to be able to push down a toe. Not quite actually. He's going to have to come up this river. Arrow coming down, heading into Varus. Not doing too much other than that. This turret might go down just to the minions, and that's going to be blue team's first turret of the game. Some much needed global gold, but it's not really enough to put them back in the game just yet. Have to do something drastic here. Vlad actually flashing to get shot off onto Varus. He's getting a little bit greedy though. Narco twisted advancing and Twisted Fate has ultimated in as well. It's going to be a card, but it looks like Varus might go down anyway. Soraka ult comes off, actually saving him. A huge damage carry from Ryze. Can't quite pick up. Ooh, actually the Ignite picking up the kill onto Twisted Fate. But blue team getting a slight advantage off in that trade, despite the double buff disappearing in the end. Ash just going to push up and try and take this turret, I imagine. So, interesting thing about Olaf's build, actually, he opted to go for Shurelya's really, really early on, rather than getting the DP10 and then just rushing into other items very quickly. But actually, yeah, went straight for that Shurelya's as well as a Hex Drinker. And I quite like that purchase here, because the Hex Drinker really nice against double AP, as well as the Shurelya's just, again, mobility when you're ahead, just being able to fight people all the time, be all over the map. Really nice, and of course that 15% CDR on Olaf is very, very strong. He was obviously going to build into that always, because Shurelya's is such a strong item on Olaf, but I don't mind the decision here of rushing into that, despite the fact that he is ahead, and of course the GP10 is always nice to hold on to when you're ahead. They do have a 10k gold lead right now, though. Very, very substantial for the 22-minute mark. And a little bit surprised that his surrender hasn't gone up, to be honest, but blue team holding on to hope. Good on him. See Kennen just resolutely pushing away at top lane here. It doesn't actually seem like he's watered anymore. He's just kind of decided to go back to pushing. But whatever. Managed to take out another turret. Gonna get a little bit more gold. It's gonna be nice. He seems wary. Or nope, actually he's just gonna keep pushing. Runs into Olaf and Ashe again. Probably will just die again. Yep. Yeah, so this all getting a little bit crazy. Just deciding that pushing is everything and not really worrying about his own life. His build choices are interesting here. Ooh, actually a lot of damage going on to Vlad with the red buff. Actually, the ult coming out from Varus doing a huge amount of damage, and he is combo to death. Crazy good work. Nice silence by Soraka, and a lot of damage from Varus coming out. The arrow goes in onto Twisted Fate, but doesn't quite pick him up. Oh man, Afram actually managing to kite Olaf for a long time, but does die in the end. Rise getting away with just a sliver of HP, and Varus does get taken out by Olaf. 3 turrets now down for blue team. They're slowly gauging up at that global gold. And some of these team fights have actually been going more favorably for them recently, so, you know, maybe they're not completely out of this, but they still got a lot of catching up to do. Janna actually opting to pick up the Shurelya's really early as well, and that kind of, I don't know, I feel like the team doesn't need 2 Shurelya's this early on, and that actually holding on to the GBC a little longer might have been better. But, I mean, certainly Shurelya's is a good item, so it's hard to argue too much with. Janna has picked up an Oracles as well, which I think is really smart when you're this ahead to try and hold on to that advantage, clear out as much vision of the enemy team as you can, and just use your advantage as a way to control the map. It's a really smart decision. Next is Soraka rushing for getting a Shurelya's fairly early on as well. Anyway, as I was saying, Kennen's item decisions has picked up the Willie Emptons very early. So I was completely wrong, by the way. Kennen and Vlad both rushed for a Wardus straight away. Which is a little bit unusual, but certainly not crazy. And he's actually picked up a Negatron and a Needlessly Large Rod, which would suggest to me Abyssal Scepter, but also Zhonya's, and he seems conflicted about which one to build first. At least that's my take on it. Of course, the Abyssal Scepter is very nice to have against an enemy team with so much ability by damage, so I assume that's why he got his Negatron so quickly. And then we'll be building into the Zhonya's after that, just to make him that much stronger in team fights. Rise has actually gone for Rod of Ages straight away into Archangel Staff and another Blasting Wand, which is quite surprising to me. How much AP does he have? 250 AP right now. It's a lot of ability power at the 25-minute mark for a Rise. Very interesting to see. Vlad flashing in actually on the entire enemy team, getting a good Hemoblade off, but I don't know. Some really nice ultimate coming from Varus as well, but wow, actually Twisted gets taken really low, and all that manages to take him out. In the meantime, Ashe taking out Cannon, and Twisted taking out Rise. Olaf trying to die, but the turret manages to take him out. Blue team picking up 2 kills there, but 4 of them going down. And we're gonna look to press their advantage right now. Probably try and push down an inhibitor here if they can. I'm gonna get this in a turret suddenly, and get a pretty decent gold advantage out of that exchange overall. She's gonna back away after the single turret, actually. A little bit surprising. Olaf has now picked up his Frozen Heart. will, I think, be sitting on, if not CDR cap, very close to CDR cap, but apparently hasn't updated yet. But he certainly has 35% from items, so if he has any on runes or masteries, then he will be. But he probably doesn't, actually. He may be going utility masteries, in which case he will be capped right now. Has picked up a phage as well. Probably going to build that into a frozen mallet, and then the hexstring going to do a more, and then he will have covered HP from the frozen mallet, armor from the frozen heart, and magic resist from the hexstringer, as well as decent amount of HP from the heart of gold and Shirelles as well. Just going to have a lot of defensive stats overall, as well as having a lot of CDR and a little bit of just attack damage as defensive stats. I love burning his ghost, but the Shirelles is actually an arrow landing on Soraka, and she's totally caught right now. Could be in a lot of trouble. His horse goes up onto Olaf, trying to stop the damage, but it looks like he's just going to take Soraka out, no problem. Won't be able to chase any further, but actually Rise coming around to catch Varus, destroying him, but oh my god, actually Varus able to pick him off and flash over the wall. Wow, really, really good work by everyone. Varus able to 1v1 a Rise with, well, because it is living on a tiny amount of health, but that blood this is doing a lot of work. Twisted being taken out. Kennen gets very, very low. The Janna ultimate actually kind of saving him, but also saving some members of their team. Kennen gets a good zoners, but goes down to Ashe as well as a nice team of Blade. And actually the transfusion picks Maokai off. Again, a hugely favorable engagement for Red Team. Picking up 4 kills, but just 1 this time. That's, yeah, just press the advantage. Going to try and pick up this Baron and try and, yeah, just kind of press home the advantage that they have right now. They will, yeah, I imagine they will be trying to close out this game before people can get towards the sort of 6-item mark where their advantage will flatten out a little bit. Wow, actually, Olaf able to catch Soraka a little bit. It's a Shirelles off, but Olaf has his as well. Gonna get some good slows, but he may go down to just to Olaf. He does. Soraka gets taken out by Vlad in the end, thanks to that arrow. But Varus, no, he's not able to do it anymore. They don't get Baron, though, in the meantime. So that was definitely worth it for Blue Team overall. Just going up there with Soraka was enough to prevent them doing Baron, thanks to Olaf getting taken down. Looks like Vlad's going to try and take up Dragon by himself. Blue Team has noticed they may be able to pick up a kill off of this. He seems to be aware, so he's just going to leave. Pick up some minions down bottom. Blue Team's going to take Dragon. He decides he doesn't care. Probably a very smart decision. So actually, some interesting decisions being made here in the builds. Again, with Rise, he's just gone for so much ability power in this game. He's picked up another Blasting Wand after the Archangels and the Rite of Ages, as well as 2 Amp Tomes, and I genuinely don't know what he's building into right now. I mean, it could be Rylai's, it could be Void Staff, but I don't know why he has another Amp Tome. It could simply be Will of the Ancients, actually. Something I had not considered. Double Word, of course, would be very, very strong with Rise and with Vlad, and maybe that should have been the first thing that occurred to me. But I always forget that Blasting Wands are used in Will of the Ancients unless you already have the Revolver, in which case it seems obvious. Something about the way my brain works. Vlad has picked up his Death Cat now, as well as his Rylai's and his Warder, and that's quite a standard build for Vlad, I think. Really, really nice set of items. Wow, actually, crazy Varus ultimate going off. It looks like Janna's in a lot of trouble. She just gets her monsoon off, and yeah. Actually, Kennedy's seeing right now. It's not going to be good for Blue Team. Of course, they were very behind already, but looks like they're just going to get crushed right now. Kennen had picked up the Zonism. I mean, it was of course going to be very helpful. We saw it being a little bit of help down on this fight down bottom, but not able to do too much overall. Ashe actually, I mean, that's Ashe deserves an honorable mention in this game. Warp Nian, 303 CS right now. The second highest in the game is 208. He's about 50% ahead of anybody else in the game. He's CSing so well. Has a ridiculous amount of gold, about 3,000 more than anyone else. And has almost completed his 6th item. He's going for what looks like a Bloodthirster to go with his Infinity Edge, his Last Whisper. Actually, no, what am I talking about? He's completing his 5th item, but still. Has a lot of gold right now, a lot more than anyone else, certainly. He's 9, 2, and 9. He's doing a lot of work in team fights in general. He's landed some good arrows. Twist of Fate opting for a very standard build. Actually selling one of his Dorans so that he could pick up his Lichman and his Dickhead that much faster. I'm not sure at what point he did that. But it's a little bit unfortunate that he was forced to do that. Very standard build for him overall, though. I would expect to see him pick up a Void Staff next if he does get another major item. I'm honestly not sure we'll go to that point. but we'll see. And Rise does pick up as well the Ancients, so that's it's very sensible, actually, with Vlad. Of course, both of those two putting out a lot of sustained damage, so that spell vamp's going to be nice to them overall. I'm just surprised at his item decisions overall here. He doesn't have a lot of mana. I mean, well, Archangels and Rotovators are of course both a fair bit of mana, but I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have more items. You know, doesn't have a Frozen Heart, doesn't have anything with magic resist on it at all. So it's strange to see, but it's certainly working very well for him. So it's hard to argue too much with that. Ash putting out a lot of damage in the Baron right now. It looks like Red Team's just gonna be able to pick this up. Of course, Cannon's still the seed. It looks like this game will just end very shortly. Can't see it thanks to the Twist of Fate ultimate, but there's nothing they can do. And honestly, even if Cannon was here, it would have been hard to try and stop that. But without Cannon, they've got nothing, and it looks like Red Team's just going to try and press in, finish this game off now. Yeah, and it looks like that'll be the surrender vote. The Hemoblade going up to minions as well as that light flashing in. That is the end of that game. Wow, that DC unfortunately kind of sealing the deal, but has to be said that Red Team had a huge advantage already, and they ran with it. They did really well. Yeah, all of this solo lanes, you know, just farming well and doing well to get to the end game. Should be mentioned that Olaf had 174 CS to Maokai's 116 as well, so but a lot more CS than Maokai, and just I mean, he was very, very strong at that particular point in time. He was so tanky and able to chase just about anyone for as long as he wanted. So Olaf doing a lot of work. I mean, yeah, realistically, everybody in Red Team won their lanes, and that's how you win in Soloqueue. You get good jungle ganks, and you just win all of your lanes, and you will win every time. Because you know, a team will fall so far behind that team fights won't even factor into it. Because, or rather, you'll automatically win team fights because you have a huge gold lead. Yeah, I'm just trying to think whether there's any more interesting item discussions here. Of course, this chain vest, actually, which I meant to mention before, that has been picked up by Aframu on Varus. That is a strange thing. It seems as though he was just trying to stop Olaf killing him. That would be my read into that, because Olaf had a couple of times got onto him and just stuck to him the whole time. And we did actually once see him tank Olaf for a little while and managed to last a little bit longer. But of course, it's not realistic to be able to get enough defensive stats on an AD carry to be able to tank Olaf for any significant amount of time, because if you do, you would hurt your damage output just way too much, and that's not a good idea. Still though, that chain vest, quite a sensible pickup, did enable him to live that little bit longer. I think that's all I want to mention in this game. Probably just actually end this recording here. Thank you guys very much for watching, and yeah, subscribe and like the videos. If you have any comments, leave them below.